Getting ready to work on the detail work of it though. Figured I'd go live and share it with y'all. Share where I'm at. Just kind of setting up and prepping here. Got to get the feathering done and start in on the detail work like I was saying. Also got to get that base sanded. Really kind of wishing I had one of those long Makita finger sanders to get in and sand out all the grass that's at the base, because boy, that is becoming a real pain in the butt to get in there. And all I have is a cheap one from Harbor Freight. It doesn't really work the same. It doesn't have the same kind of reach as that Makita does. So it's probably going to have to go on my list of things to purchase sometime this year. I wish I could grab one now, but it's not in the budget at the moment for one of those Makita finger sanders. So hopefully one of these days we'll get one. What's going on, Ryan? Hope you're having a good day, man. Just getting ready to do a little detail work on this heron I've been carving. We've been working on carving things out of black walnut, for those of you that are just stopping by. We did a bear, I did an eagle. Bear video is up and available. Eagle video, my daughter's actually editing for me right now, so hopefully we'll have that eagle video either tonight or tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. If I post 2 videos in a day, YouTube doesn't usually like that, so that'll probably be for tomorrow. And hopefully we'll have the heron video up by the end of the week. Now, if I still have time, I'm hoping to do a fox, and then I might even work in an owl. All these pieces that I'm getting done, I'm going to have with my furniture in Blue Mountain Lake, New York, at a place called the Adirondack Experience, also known as the Adirondack Museum. Again, in Blue Mountain Lake, New York, on September 7th through the 8th. It's a big furniture fair that they have, rustic furniture fair. And when I'm not doing this stuff, I'm building high-end rustic furniture. So I usually get a spot up there, a big 10 by 20. And just set up furniture. I don't usually bring carvings, because like I said, it's usually a furniture event. But this year, I am going to bring the carvings that I'm doing out of Walnut and see how it goes, see what the crowd thinks. Last year I did bring a few smalls and like one out of pine, and honestly we sold 2 little tiny pieces, but it's not a craft fair kind of event. It is a very classy, high-end sort of event. Up here, you get up high in the Adirondacks, you have a lot of large cabins owned by large corporate business owner type of people, where that's probably their 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th home. So just kind of give you guys an idea of the crowd that tends to come through. You get some locals, obviously, but a lot of out-of-staters, a lot of down-staters, a lot of stuff like that. So you want to, that sort of an event. Like I said, it's not like bring little bears and bring craft items, bring $50 items. It's bring high ticket items, interesting pieces, high quality stuff. So that's kind of why I've been doing the black walnut carvings. I'm just trying to go for that high detail, push my ability, and create those pieces that will hopefully attract the right people at the event, and hopefully they'll love it. It would be absolutely huge blessing if somebody came through and said, I got to have the whole set and buy all of them. That'd be pretty sweet, but I won't hold my breath. So anyway, we do good at the show. If I make out well, then I think I'm going to get one of those Makita finger sanders, because I really do enjoy carving the heron, but I absolutely hate trying to sand down between the legs and the grass. I love creating grass and all that at the bottom. And this is just, it's not big enough. It just doesn't really do what I want. I do have an Arbor Tech mini grinder, mini carver, and that thing just, I hate to say it, like I want to love Arbor Tech so bad. I want to love that tool, and it just never works. I've put new brushes in. It works for one piece. It's dead. They even sent me another motor. It worked for one piece, and it's dead. I don't know. I've kind of given up on trying to fix that thing. And those are not a cheap purchase. So I may end up reaching out to Arbor Tech again here and seeing if there's something they can do. But it's been a few years. So I don't know what the deal is. I want to love those grinders due to that attachment, so you can get into small places and sand with 2-inch sanding discs. But I hate bad reviews. I hate doing that. I love being able to sand with this kind of stuff, you know, with a mini Carver. Mine won't work well. I see a lot of people having good luck with them. It's just not me, apparently. Apparently not me. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. Appreciate y'all tuning in. If you guys are here, smash that thumbs up for me. Also, if you guys are interested in channel merch, you can always check out that shop tab. And in the description, I have Amazon links to our storefront where we've got all kinds of reviews, lists, tool lists, that kind of stuff together. We've got the Carver Starve shirts in the shop tab right now. If you guys follow the link through the shop tab, you can see all the other shirts that we have available, a bunch of different designs and things like that, not just this one. So appreciate those. We've sold quite a few lately. That's been pretty awesome. So thank you to everybody that's bought merch. I appreciate it. Low and slow, that's standard. I know that Makita is pricey, but really starting to rethink it. I think I'm gonna have to buy one. Get the bottom of this carving cleaned up, and then we're going to work on putting the feathering in. Well, I got to get this grass squared away. I got my table too far away. Boy, it's one of those days already, I tell you. Thank you, Roman. Appreciate it. Thanks, baby kisses. I appreciate it. Carver another piece of black walnut. That's what's going on. Working on shaping and sanding right now. Once I get this lower portion sanded out and the legs and I get the legs and the grass sanded out here, then I got to get out the saws again. We got to start working in the feathers and things. But I got to get this done. This is like probably the most tedious part, is trying to get everything low here. Kind of, final shaping and sanding and stuff. This is where I was saying earlier, I wish I had made the purchase a long time ago for that Makita sander, the finger sander there, and a couple different things they've got, belt sander. But if I do well at the upcoming show, then I'm probably just going to have to buy one. I was going to buy a new chainsaw, but I might have to just buy that sander to make jobs like this easier. Just barely 60 degrees today. Got the fan rolling though to blow the dust by me as I sand, but it's a little chilly on the neck. A little chilly on the neck. Walnut is, Baby Kisses is walnut hard to carve. Walnut is much tougher to carve than say pine, but it's going to be easier to carve than like a hard maple or an oak. Black walnut is still considered hard wood, but it is on the softer side. So like there's soft maples, and walnut is it's still a hardwood, but it's, you know, not as dense as other ones. It is a little bit difficult. It's tough to manipulate the saw and get really clean cuts. You get a lot of chatter sometimes, even with a sharp chain when you're carving it, especially when you got to come down through the grain. I'll show you an example. Ooh, it's heavy too. This piece of grass right here, you can see all that chain is super rough cutting. With the pine, you get much smoother cuts right out of the gate. When you're carving hardwood, you don't really get that. Sometimes it's tough going. Small pieces, small chunks is the name of the game when you're carving a hardwood. Adam Sky, thank you, appreciate it. Thanks, Dennis. What about elm? I'm not sure. You'd have to look it up and see if elm is softer on the hardwood scale. I'm not really sure what elm where it falls. I haven't carved any elm. Catalpa wood is a soft one. It's kind of a shrubby sort of tree, but they get really big. They don't have a lot of sap. They carve really nice. Catalpa does. You can get that. Stinks though. It smells like burning oil sometimes when you're cutting it if it smokes. They have fine things for the angle grinder. You see some people use, so you don't have to sand. Different implements. So I have, I want to get the Makita finger sander next. I think I'm going to be saving up for that. That's, a few $100. It's still a decent purchase for me. If the show I have coming up in Blue Mountain Lake does really well, I might get one. Right now I got this older Harbor Freight one, and it's just it's great for fine sanding, but not for actual material removal. It just doesn't have the oomph behind it to get the job done, so it's not really doing what I want it to do as far as cleanup goes. Now, if I can get every little angle done with the saber-tooth burrs and the die grinders, then I could get in there with that and it'll clean up those marks and sand it down and make it look way better. I do have the Arbortech Mini Carver, which has that narrowed down end to the grinder. It's in the shop, but it's an attachment that comes down, and then you can use 2-inch carving discs and carving and sanding implements and things. And you get a little more reach. It's the kind of thing that would work well in here for the most part, but the problem is it never works. I bought it years ago. They're a good little chunk of change for that whole setup. You get a grinder and the attachment and all that, and it was dead after my first use. So they sent me new brushes. I put those in. Died again, put another set in, it wouldn't work. They sent me a whole new unit, got one or two pieces done, and that one doesn't work. I just took both of them apart and was tinkering with them all day yesterday, and I can't get either one to run, and I'm really bummed about that because Arbortech makes some really awesome stuff. I'm just really bummed about those grinders. So I actually took their attachment off and was trying to get it to sit on fit on one of the paddle switch grinders, but none of it lines up. You got to use their stuff, which is, whatever. It's one of those companies, I want to promote it and I want it to work so bad, but it just doesn't work for me. And I see so many other people have success with that tool, but I just don't seem to have success with that tool. And it's a bummer. I guess it's such awesome stuff. But what are you going to do, Maybe I'll reach out to them this month after my show and see if I can't talk to somebody about it, see if they have any suggestions or parts, which I'm willing to buy. Love to get that thing up and running. You spend a couple $100, $200-300 on a whole setup, and then it just doesn't work right. It's kind of crappy. ground bee nest I got rid of the other day, but I still keep getting a couple ground bees in here every now and then, driving me nuts. So you just bought blue brush saw on Amazon. I don't know what that is. A blue brush saw? I don't know what that is. Bear and the boss lady, what is up? Oh, little brush chainsaw. Gotcha. I understand now. Sometimes I'm a little dense, you know? Hey, you're welcome. Thanks for being here, baby kisses. Thank you. Bear and the boss lady, baby kisses. Members to the channel, they help support the channel directly. I do appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. More walnut. Yes, sir. Bear and the boss lady, more walnut. Hoping to be working on a fox later today, but I got a little bit of sanding. Just finished kind of shaping out what I want down here, so now we're going to try to get it sanded up. And then I'm going to grab the saws and get into doing some feathering work and cleaned up. Hopefully I can get that done. And then I'll be working up here to get the eyes and the face in. And then this piece will be moved aside, and then I hope to start a fox. But I don't know, carving walnut, it's slow going. I'd like to get the fox blocked out today and stuff, but we'll see how it goes. There's going to be a video though for each one of these walnut carvings. And the plan is to bring these with me to the show in Blue Mountain Lake, September 7th through the 8th at the Adirondack Experience, also known as the Adirondack Museum in upstate New York, Blue Mountain Lake, New York. I'll be there for a 2-day event. I'll have rustic furniture, my high-end stuff, and I'll have these, what I'm considering high-end carvings. So, hey, awesome. Well, I'm glad you guys are listening and watching. I appreciate you guys. You guys tune in often. Thank you. Thank you to everybody else as well that tunes in. You know, if it's your first time being here, we should give the video a thumbs up, hit subscribe, hit that bell, hit all. And, you know, you're helping me grow the channel. You're helping me get this video out there when you're watching, you're commenting, those sort of things. I always like to ask you guys, once we've been on for a little bit, where you're from and what's the temperature. I'm in upstate New York, and today, actually, we're about 64 degrees right now. It was like 50 this morning, which was awesome. But I had running around to do. Had to go see the barber, so I missed out on the really chilly weather for carving in. But me and the boy had to go get some touch-ups done. You know, a little carving with our hair caught up. But big show next week or the following week, I don't know. Whenever the 7th and the 8th of September is. Got to go and get rid of the mountain man look and go to that event looking professional, you know. So appreciate my local barbers. Do a great job for us, so can't really beat that. That black walnut eagle I was working on, that is done. It is complete. I love it, which I don't say often about pieces, but I absolutely love it. One of my daughters is actually editing the footage from that for me today, so hopefully I'll have that full time-lapse video creating the eagle start to finish out of a black walnut log. Hope to have that up and available tomorrow morning. Hey, heading to Ausable, or Ashtabula, I don't know what the heck, I said Ausable, that ain't Ausable. Fishing for walleyes though, nice. My boy loves fishing for walleyes. Ashtabula, right? Something like that in Ohio. We have an Ausable in New York, and so that's where my brain instantly was like, "Hey, stupid, that's what that is." No, it's not. That's not what that is. Do one of the worst places to live. Question for you guys watching, my Carver friends. Do you guys have, anybody out there have the Makita finger sander? If so, does that have variable speed? Like, can you adjust, you know, your speeds high and low for slow sanding, or like high, you know, does it have that capability? Because I really think that's going to be my next big carving investment purchase, is a Makita finger sander. You know, unless Makita's watching and you guys want a great promo on the channel, I'd be happy to have Makita send me a finger sander. That'd be great. Makita, I know you're not watching. But that'd be cool. That'd be cool too. Big brands don't watch channels like mine. I need like 100, 200, 300,000 subscribers before they even take notice. Yeah, so you got the one that I've got. I know this is from Harbor Freight. I know Harbor Freight's got the Bauer now, Bauer brand, but it's kind of the same thing. This one's the Chicago Electric, you know, one of their older units. But they don't have, you know, they don't have a variable speed, which I kind of wish they did. And I wish you could get wider, like I wish they had a whole different attachment. You could do wider belts and stuff like that, but it is what it is, you know. It's a little bit slower going, and it, you know, gets the job done. It just takes longer, I guess. fine sawdust just went straight in my eyeball. Nice and dry. Feels great. Hey, 11 thumbs up, 11 people watching. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for being here, guys. Hey, I shot this out a few minutes ago. Baron the Boss Lady commented 70 degrees in Ohio. Where are you guys located? What's the temperature today? We're in upstate New York. We're running right around 65, maybe a little bit lower than that. Chicago electric die grinder as well. Really like it. Yeah, I got 3 of those over here, but I know they don't have those anymore at my Harbor Freight when they no longer have the Chicago. And so now they're on to the Hercules. Oh yeah, I cut plastic with this the other day. Oops. Forgot to clean that off right away. Now I got melted plastic on this thing. Whoops. Hopefully we won't need this burr, because this is gonna have to get melted off. Harbor Freight specials, right? Hercules, not plugged in. Not electric, plugged in. I feel like the Hercules has a slower RPM. I actually don't think it's listed as having a. I think it's what is it? 25,000 RPM. I think this guy does too, but it just feels 25,000 RPM. It feels like it doesn't cut as fast. I don't know. It seems a little slower, but that's what it is, you know? Whatever. I know, a lot of talking today. We'll have somebody on there as usual. But you just shut up and do it already. Yeah, gonna be 42 tomorrow. Yeah, they are. But you know what? Since they've had Chicago Electric, everything else has gone up anyway. So, you know, all other tool prices have gone up. Non-carving related, has anyone seen the test? I think it's been through TikTok. Has anyone seen the videos of the guy doing the demonstration between Icon wrenches, which are from Harbor Freight, and the Snap-on wrenches? Snap-on should seriously be concerned. Like, cracks me up. That Icon from Harbor Freight outheld Snap-on wrenches. You spend like $500 for Snap-on wrenches. You can spend $80 on the Icons, and 160 for a full set of Icons. Been watching it. They've been doing a bunch of test videos, and those Icons have been showing up. Wild. Guys should check out the Woodwhackers on, I think he's got them on eBay. Subscriber actually bought me one and sent me one from the UK, which is seriously awesome. And I've been using this instead of the flap sander. This thing works great. Easy to swap sandpaper out though. Such a great innovative unit, to be honest. down low, yanked itself right out of there. What's going on, Ryan? Thank you.
Oh, might be too low.
cuts. Sometimes you gotta stand out crazy to carve those draw those feathers on, you know? Hey, thanks. Little bears in the background over there. Yeah, we got a guy with a tree. We got a moose with a tree. Another little bear. They're just over there hanging out. We'll go with that. We'll see what happens. Yeah. So, being in the tent, I got walls. That end out there is open. When it's snowing, blowing nasty, I'll let it roll down and zip it up. Harbor Freight purchase. This is a 10 by 20 from Harbor Freight. You buy two, put two tops on at once, build the 2x4 frame around it, leave it up all year round, bump the snow off. Then you got to go on Amazon and you got to buy the walls separate for a different brand. Then you buy the nicer fans that Walmart carries, you're around $50 or so. It's got the best force. If you buy the square box fans, they don't really move anything. They're a helper. So I have one of the box fans at the end, helping bring any exhaust fumes, any fine dust out, and then this guy's really pushing. So I got to get another one of these to put at the end and kind of get rid of the box fan. The box fan, the white box fans are kind of a waste of money to move dust and exhaust fumes. That thing is the real workhorse, and it's definitely worth having if you're going to be working under a tent, under cover. Like you said, night keeps you nice and cool. It removes all the fine dust. Like everything past you guys is covered in fine black walnut dust. You can kind of see it as I move on my shirt here even, but super important. You got to wear a mask, you know, have fans going, keep that dust rolling out, keep the air kind of clear. But yep. If you guys are just tuning in, give me a thumbs up on this live. Feel free to comment where you're from and what the temperature is. Don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the bell, hit all, so you guys don't miss future lives or uploads. Appreciate y'all being here today. I might have just drew those on. I also got a fish for his mouth I carved up the other day. Carved out of cherry burl. It's actually in the basement, my basement shop. I've got it, dipped it in epoxy. It's got a lot of holes in it, stuff like that. But it's gonna look really, really nice, really pretty with the walnut once they're put together. What's going on? Hope y'all having a good day. 12 people watching, 13 thumbs up. I appreciate it, guys. How do I keep that stuff off my glasses? I don't. Just clean them up later, you know. With these fans going, it blows a lot of the fine dust right past, so it's not like stuck to my face. Get a little bit of bar oil, but nothing too crazy. Thanks, I appreciate the comment. see here. Hey, Mayberry, I appreciate it. Yeah, I need to do some raccoons. I've had some people asking about raccoons, actually, and I don't know why. It's one of those animals I just haven't tackled. I carved some early on, and I hated them when I first started. They looked awful, so I just never went back to it. Haven't studied up on them, because really you should study that, you know, that new animal. I need to take some time though, and I gotta take some time, pull some photos up, you know. I was thinking of doing one, but I really haven't done any raccoons in years, so I don't even want to try to do one for the show that I've got coming up, you know what I mean? But here's that feathering. See the pattern working its way down the back there. Darn tabletop I put on here sits uneven, so when I put my carving up here, it just wants to fall over. Good times. Got a nice crock pot of chili going today. Get out of here, Hornet. Jeez. Buzzing all around my head. Back down. Get out of here. Thing's gonna end up stinging me. That's gonna suck. There you go. Man. Brazen little things. Right, crawling on my head or something. Go wait, I'll put all my gear on and I'll start dive bombing me. It's like, just go away. Go away. As long as it ain't my hat. Whatever. I wish this, the bug assault, I wish this thing was strong enough to take down hornets. It works great on you know, flies. And it makes a hornet think twice, but he's still gonna nail you. I wish that would take them out. Those things need just a little more power behind them so I can just blast hornets out of the air. You do a bunch of carving, you probably get flies and bees and things in your tent. Having one of those bug assaults on hand, that thing is a lot of fun out here. I'll send the boy out here with it, like, just shoot all the flies. So, we're gonna work on like long, flowy kind of strands down the neck. That's the plan next here. Yeah, long, flowy strands of hair, I guess. Whatever. Of feathery hair, feather looking stuff. Whatever. See how it goes. little texture. Yeah, you guys can kind of see over there, can't you? I'll tell you, we got some big changes coming this year. Big changes coming. I'm hoping it's not going to affect my YouTube channel, but it might. I got to wait and see when I can share it. I might just do a whole video on it yeah, I might just do a whole video on it. Just kind of give you guys a heads up. It may change the quantity of videos and going lives that I do. I don't know. Don't want it to, but it might. Yeah, I gotta do the raccoon thing. 15 thumbs up, 18 people watching. You guys are awesome today. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Watching and helping me grow this live feed and stuff. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. See here, we gotta get into the face. We gotta get into the face. My stuff's getting all dusty. Dusty. Oh, I need a good face picture. There we go. Like this ugly, such an ugly bird. Such an ugly bird. What an ugly creature. Oh yeah, sure, we like that. That looks great. See if we can mess it up on the other side. Always a challenge and a half. Yeah, a little scoobly-doo. Oh well. Scoobly-doodly-doo. Doo-dahs. Having fun now. These birds, like look up a blue herring. They gotta be one of the ugliest things you've ever looked at in the face. Like look at their beak and their face. Wow, it's such an ugly bird. They look super cool walking in the distance, and they look really cool flying, but like up close, they're super ugly. They're ugly. Ohio Valley, fire buff. How'd I get into this? It's a good story. So I grew up foothills of the Adirondacks, hiking, swimming, all that kind of stuff, right? And I started off in rustic furniture in 2011. We bought our home, and I decided I'm going to build furniture. I'm going to be one of those people. So after a few years of building garbage and selling horrible-looking stuff, that's a horrible sound they make, Bear and Bosley, yeah, right? One year, we were going into the local hardware store, and they were selling steel products, and they had stupid Hornets back. They had the MS-170 on sale. I hit him, but I don't know where he went. I mean, he's gonna get all mad and jump up in ball fury and try and nail me. Oh, there he is. Is that him? Might be. Where was I? Hornet down! The heron is quite like a flying dinosaur. Ugly creature. Majestic, yet ugly. Anyway, story how I got into carving. So we were in the hardware store where they sell steel products, and they had a sale on 170s. I had already kind of started with a steel 032 AV, just cinder block with a bar. Did like a quick rough out, just goofing around. I was like, yeah, this isn't for me. I can't see 3D pieces. I can't see all the way. I can't do this. You know, I can build furniture, but I can't do this. And oh, that's nothing, burnt neck. That's nothing. That's nah. I don't call you redneck up here for nothing. And so anyway, the hardware store had the 170 on sale, like they do from time to time. And my wife said, you know, you should get that 170. It's a smaller saw, right? Wouldn't that work? And I said, yeah, that'd work getting started, but I can't chainsaw carve. I can't do that. I'm not going to be any good at it. She said, no, really, you should try it. I think you'd be good at it. And basically I said, yeah, whatever. We walked around the store, got what we had to get, and we ended up going by, taking another look. She's like, you know, we got the money for that. And she basically put it in the cart and said, I think you should really go after this. You should pursue this, and you should start chainsaw carving. So I told her she was nuts, and you know, that was 2015. Here we are now, 2024. And you know, carving away. Got so many chainsaws, she's probably regretting that decision. But you know, it's been quite a journey. When I first started, there wasn't tutorial videos. There was nobody like teaching you online unless you were going to pay a ridiculous, like the teaching was pay money, fly out somewhere to these places that are usually across country or across, you know, wherever for me to go to, pay them like $1,200, spend 2-3 days. You leave with a cheap little saw and a carving that you made, and they showed you how to make something. There wasn't like tutorials online. There wasn't step-by-step. There wasn't any of that. So since 2015 to now, it's been a lot of self-taught for me, and then just sort of making videos and teaching you guys as I learn something new or I do something new, or, you know, things of that nature. Also, since then, more carvers have gone and created YouTube channels. You know, there's more and more absolutely amazing carvers out there, from beginners to totally professional people way above my skill level, who have created channels and, you know, have been able to add to that carving video community. Now, I did, LED says, unless it was in a book, there was really nothing visually. And I did actually have a store that I was selling furniture through, and my early carvings through, they gave me a book, an early how to chainsaw carve book. And I'll tell you what, it was really cool to look at, but I couldn't look at that book and take the saw to the wood and kind of create. Like, it just didn't progress that way for me. For me, trial and error is just that, trial and error. I got to make cuts, I got to make mistakes, I got to grow off that, and it works so much easier for me rather than like flipping pages on instructions. Heron the Boss Lady, there's nobody that does it the way that I do, and I appreciate it. For me, you know, humbly, guys, I put a lot of forethought and time into the concept of creating tutorials. I think of how would I have wanted a tutorial starting out, and how does a beginner, or how would a beginner want a tutorial? What is the best way to put that tutorial out where it's not a flat shot like this, right? It's just a flat, stagnant shot because we're live. There's not much I can do with this at the time. It is what it is while we're live. But a lot of you commenting, you guys know, you see my tutorials. We got camera angle here. You see all the saw cut, saw angles, while we have a stagnant camera so you can see how we're moving around the piece and things like that. A lot of forethought has to go into that kind of stuff, you know, and then giving instruction on top of that, and just, you know, walking you guys through. And so, I mean, it really is cool to like have that comment. Like, I haven't seen anybody else do anything like that. I wish my subscriber level said, hey, here's 200,000 people, but you know, whatever, maybe one day. At the same time, I enjoy making the videos. I enjoy connecting with you guys in the community here. You know, this is what I do full time. I chainsaw carve full time. I build rustic furniture full time. And on the side of that, I put in 1 to 3 days a week, anywhere from 1 to 4 hours a day at a local hardware store as their certified steel service tech. So I do that a little bit while I do this stuff way more. And so that also gives me the ability here to be a full-time YouTuber, connect, teach, and you know what I mean, spend time with you guys. So also, if you guys want to help grow my other channel, Kyle's Chainsaw Rescue, be sure to check that out if you guys haven't already. But yeah, Yep, that's where I'm at, guys. You know, so since 2015, my wife kind of pushed me into it, and it's been just a lot of trial and error ever since. That's pretty much been it, you know. And I mean, between 2015 and now, that's kind of what I was saying, is the fact that you got a lot of other big name, a lot of carvers. You know, I'll be 40 this year. A lot of other carvers who are older, who have gotten into it before me, who studied with somebody else, or, you know, had that internship with somebody else. I didn't do any of that. Those people, though, have created YouTube channels as well, or they're on social media sharing their work, which helps me out. You know, you get to a certain level and you kind of, sometimes you get like a little block, like, man, I'm not sure, like a mental block. How do I push past this point? How do I push through, you know, this look or this style to get my pieces to look different? How do I do that when I'm self-taught? And, you know, now it's at a point where so many people are making videos and putting their work out there, you're able to have a reference point. You know, a lot of the older guys, a lot of people who've been doing it, well, you should just study real animals. You should just study real animals all the time. That's what you should study. And I mean, that's not entirely wrong, but in the scope of things, sometimes looking at a picture of a real animal compared to looking at a drawing, a sculpture, a wood carving of an animal that is done by somebody who does it really, really well, for me, is a better reference than an actual photo. And it sounds funny, but I'm able to see where their cuts were compared to the real animals standing there sometimes. But once you get doing it, and you get doing, like, you know, a lot of the same or similar stances or animals per se, that stuff starts to fall in place. But then you say, okay, I want to take my animals from cute and cuddly and start trying to work toward realism. You find a carver that does well on realism, and you study their photos along with, you know, the photos of real animals at the same time, and you're trying to figure out those cuts and mix and match that kind of stuff together. And then you got your own little style you throw in there. Like, I want realism, but I also know that this piece right here that pops off the back is not this beefy. It's much more thin. It would be more like wire, but I know it's going to break if I were to do that. So same thing with the legs. They should go down. They should be much thinner. The body, the head should be a bit thinner. But I got things I want to do on this. I don't want it to fall apart. So you got to also, you also got to have certain, you know, have the whole picture in your head as to what it is you're carving and what you want to do with that piece at some point. But I don't know, hopefully I answered some questions. I didn't have too much rambling on. 16 people watching, 16 thumbs up. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Turtle Man? Oh, the Turtle Man. Yeah, you guys went and saw Turtle Man, Baron the Boss Lady. Yeah. I've seen a little bit of that guy on TV. Where was it? Earlier you guys commented I got good sunburn on my neck. We went to Unadilla, New York. Was it last weekend? For the Pro Series dirt bike races. Me, my son, and my brother-in-law drove out for the day and went out and watched the races all day. Give me 1 second. Currently I can't talk and do things at the same time. So we went out and watched the races all day. I don't wear sunscreen. I don't do that stuff. I think the hype around it's a bunch of garbage. But what's up? Yeah, you can take it. Give me just a second here. I said my daughter was editing my video. I forgot. I have the iPad. Now she's gonna edit my videos. And now I'm gonna have to go off memory how I'm gonna carve the eyes into this bird because I will no longer have reference. Here, have fun. Okay now. Thank you. So we went to Unadilla for the dirt bike races. This is actually faded. This is the normal neck color of mine. After going to the races all day, my neck color was very much this color. See the difference? There's a difference there, believe it or not. Yeah, I don't do sunscreen though. I don't do oils or sunscreen or any of that crap. I think it's a joke and a big gimmick. It doesn't make sense to me to rub products on the skin to bake in on the sun. It just doesn't sound healthy. What GoPro stand is that I am using? I think I've got it. I got Amazon links. If you go to our Amazon store, I'm pretty sure I got them in there. I can't remember. The newer T30, Neewer T30. That's probably the better one that I've had. That's a tripod with flexible base. There's another one over here, which it's a little cheaper, but it's cheaper. The newer is much nicer. It's got aluminum parts, holds up so much better. But yeah, you can check out my Amazon links, usually in the description. If it's not in this video, which I think I put it in there, it'll say like wish list or Amazon something. You just follow it and you'll see links to electronics or something like that. And then you can check those out. I got review videos on them and stuff. So like we do Amazon reviews, which is a fairly new thing, but if somebody watches our reviews on Amazon and makes a purchase, we get a little bit of kickback. But then if you guys follow my link from here to an Amazon product and watch my video, I think I get kickback twice. I'm not 100% sure. So you always, if you're doing this stuff full time and you're in an area like me where I'm not making, I'm making what I need to make, but I'm not making a ton of money off carving and YouTube and all that kind of stuff. You got to work that side hustle. You got to work those other things that you're going to throw in there and make money so that you can do that thing that you love, so you can have the time that you want to have with family. And, me and we pursue those things. We're working for time. So trying not to work for other people than ourselves and work for time, unless we so choose to work for other people. New show coming out with the Turtle Man. Alright. I gotta try to carve eyes and finish this beak with no reference photos. So this should be fantastic. another plan for the show where I plan to have the oh, LED. I missed some of your stuff. Sorry, man. LED, do I find it hard to be motivated to carve on the daily? You get days where you look forward to it and others where you're not feeling it. Yeah, that happens, you know. Have those days where, you know, you're just totally vibing. You want to get into it and, you know, it's all you can think about. And then there's days where, you know, it's like, ugh, I got to go get this done. But I still enjoy it, even though it's like, ugh. But, you know, it's kind of like with anything, I feel like, especially when you do it a lot. I get just really, I don't know, you know, like there's also those times like Ryan Cook's talked about it too a little bit, like Carver block. You know, sometimes you hit walls where you're like, geez, what do I want to carve next? Like you kind of, like I haven't put out a bear carving tutorial because like I've got so many out there. It's like, geez, do people really want another bear carving tutorial? According to YouTube analytics, they do. According to YouTube analytics, those are my best videos, my top videos, and I should just be creating, you know, the content of how to chainsaw carve a bear. And honestly, my channel would probably be upwards to 80 to 100,000 subscribers if that's all I focused on was how to carve a bear and just continued to put those, you know, videos out. I like to be creative, and so constant repetitiveness drives me nuts. But I'll probably be doing how to carve a bear videos really soon because YouTube's a full-time thing and it makes me a little bit of money, and I need to make a little bit more money and keep that consistent. Otherwise, my videos will start to fall off. A lot of the bigger videos that I've been putting out of time-lapse, a lot of people haven't been watching. You know, I'm getting 200 views on a video that's 10 to 15 minutes long, where in the past, those videos are getting a few thousand views within the course of a few months. Right now, they're only getting 200-300 views in a few months. So it's like, what the heck's going on, right? The YouTube algorithm is doing something different. They're changing it. They're making it different, which they do every few months to every year. And so I've got to roll with it. That's why we've been going live more. The algorithm wants more live videos from me and from creators. And so here we are doing this more on top of Reels, the shorts, the short video stuff. But you know, it's a game, it's a gamble, and it's a job running this whole thing. As far as carving goes, you know, like you said, sometimes you come out here and just like that, you know, some days you're really, really into it, and some days you're really not. I'm not even sure if it's 100% the piece. I mean, if I'm spent the week just cranking out bears, the time I'm usually like, is if I just block out and do all the chainsaw work and knowing like the next day is going to be all power carving work and no chainsaws. That's usually when I'm like, how long can I put this off before I really got to finish these? Because, yeah, the repetitive stuff just, it drives me a little bonkers. Yeah, hopefully that answered your question there, Allie. But, you know, if you run into not knowing what to do, or you run into Carver's block, you're stuck, you're like, man, I got to carve, but I don't know what to carve, and you don't have orders, or I don't know how to do this different thing, or, you know, you can always go to YouTube school, right? Just YouTube. It's always the best bet. I mean, or you can just flat out Google stuff, but, you know, watch things that are inspiring. Doesn't always have to be chainsaw carving. But this is mostly for like block, artist block, you know, not necessarily whether you want to or not want to do the job. You know, you run into Jimmy H, what is up? Jorg, what's happening? You know, if you run into like that artistic block, look into other avenues for creativity. Like, the artistic block, I would say, is the creativity block. The block where you can't come up with something new to do. I do not want to just carve standing bears like this. Will I take orders for them? Absolutely, they pay the bills. But do I want to just carve standing bears all day, every day? No, I want to push myself to carve different things and stay creative. Otherwise, it's not fun. And if my job is not fun, then I no longer want to do my job, right? I mean, I'm here to do something I love to do, but I'm also here doing this thing working for myself, so I have more time with the family. And so my mind comes back full circle as to stay creative, keep it fun, continue to do what you want to do while doing the things that are like, yeah, you know, because they pay the bills. Where you hope this will pay the bills too, but you never know. You never know when it's not an order and you're putting a lot of time into a piece. You don't know. So what you've got to take out of that is, right, you put a lot of time into a piece that's not an order. What do you get out of it? You get an advertisement of the new thing you can do. You get a lot of new experience, practice, carving that new thing, that new trial and error thing, going for it. I mean, that's the biggest thing with sculpting with a chainsaw and wood carving and that kind of stuff is like you gotta just go for it. Do your research up front, study your photos, study your sculpture, study your whatever it is you're gonna do, and then get over it and just go for it. Gas up the saw, throw on the gear, and just try it. There's no other way to, you know, to do it. And that's the other thing too with Carver block. Just get out there, throw it on a chunk of wood, and just make something off the cuff. Stop creating the exact same thing. Make something off the cuff. Try to do a pail spilling water, an axe in the wood, anything, a balloon, right? Make the cord kind of fat like rope, carve a balloon, suspend it, do something that seems wild and dumb and I can't make that. Make that thing you can't make. Just do it. Even if it never sells, even if it sits on a shelf and you never ever get rid of it, you gotta throw those wild card pieces in the mix every once in a while just to keep those juices flowing, you know? Gotta keep it flowing. My doing the YouTube channel thing is funny because oh man, I'm trying to get what you're saying here. So do I think with the state of the world, money's tight, that there's more people wanting to buy a carving that does something else, like a seat or a shelf instead of just looking pretty. I don't have people asking for those things myself. I live in a weird area though, where, you know, end of spring until mid-fall, I have people coming up to camps. The people that are coming up this way to purchase want sculptures. I've had a few people want benches. Benches could do well. I don't always specialize in like take a ton of time and carve up a lot of benches. The reason is, you know, when I'm done, you're looking at $800-900. You got a bench, 2 bears, 1 in each, and a stump sort of thing. You might even be more. I mean, we're really talking, depends on the bench here. And I would say with the economy, sometimes people don't even want to part with that for something that's useful on top of great to look at. You know, that's always the roller coaster being self-employed and realistically selling art. You know, what's the economy look at? And is it a necessity? This is not a necessity, right? Everything tanks. This is the last thing people are going to think about buying. But even with the state of a not so great, crappy economy, people are still making purchases and people are still spending money where I personally would not be spending money, right? That's me. But we also have to remember there is a whole many tiers and levels of people that have money. There are people where this crappy economy does not affect them. They may say it does, they may act like it does, but they are spending lots of money on things that we dream of, and they spend it regularly as if we're buying toilet paper. So, you know, economy makes a difference. You know where economy hits in the economy is when, for me, what I have noticed is my smalls. The stuff where my average Joe can buy. My stuff that's $100 or less. Those sales sometimes go down with a bad economy because this is our blue collar, our working class people that want something cool. They can't afford $1,000 pieces, but they want a neat piece. We were back. Froze for a minute there. Now they have to decide, right, because they're middle, lower class citizens. Do we want a carving, or would I rather take my family to dinner? Do I want, you know, an $80 carving, or do I want to fill my truck for the week? Do I want, right? So, again, there's different classes of people. There's people where they're going $80 is 8 cents to me. You know, $80 is $80 to me, but to them it's like 8 cents. They don't care. You know, you really see that when you get into different events outside of craft fairs, when you go to different shows and you go to different things and you watch people watch people spend thousands and thousands of dollars on a dining room table. Tables that are 20 grand just to sit and eat dinner at, or to sit in a room that they don't even use. You know, people still do that. You know, people buy conference tables, $80,000, $100,000 conference tables for businesses. That's a business purchase, which is a little bit different. But even homes, I have done work for customers who can spend large amounts of money on beautiful things in their homes, and you know, I'll build them beautiful things, and they, you know, they want what they want, and you know, the sky's the limit. You know, sometimes there's a cap set, like, hey, this is what I'm willing to spend. What can you make me? And you know, that's all right too. And on the flip side, we have, you know, our regular Joes that are like, my cap's at $100. What can you make me? And it's like, I feel you. I want something cool too for $100, but you know, this is what it gets you. So, you know, there's all those factors to take into play, I guess. Yeah, well, you know, it was one of those responses. I know. Thanks for the detailed response. You're welcome. I look at a lot of this stuff because, like, I do a lot of craft fairs, and I have done, and I'm looking for ways to get out of craft fairs. And the reason is, a craft fair is a lot of work for very little outcome. Put a lot of time in and a lot of effort doing craft fairs to sell pieces that are very small for very small purchases for, you know, the regular Joe, which is awesome because I enjoy making pieces that everybody can. Small mill. I'm trying. I'm not the best at stuff, but I'm trying here. I originally was like, I want to create pieces that everybody can afford, but the problem with creating pieces that everybody can afford, you're across the spectrum, and you think everybody can afford them, right? But then they can't, or it's way too cheap, and you're really getting the short end of the stick. And that's what's tend to happen for me is, you know, I've gotten the short end of the stick too many times after creating and selling, and, you know, overhead and gas and wood, blah, 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 right? You're like, man, I did not make enough money selling at that rate. So you bump it up, you bump it up, you bump it up, whatever, over the years. The problem with your one-time sales at craft fairs is they're just that, they're a one-time sale. So if you can create out-of-the-box pieces, detailed pieces, pieces that'll catch the eye of somebody in a different class or a different price range, a different tier, right? You potentially have caught their eye. Hopefully they'll purchase a piece, and you've made a connection with someone who's not only going to buy one, but is going to buy multiple pieces, or is going to want furniture orders, in my case, you know, want high-end furniture as well, on top of multiple carving pieces. Those are your best clients. Those are the people you cater to. Those are the people you take your time, you do your best work for, and those are the people that you do your best to make happy and continue to, you know, provide for in that aspect. Why? Well, one, they're paying your bills, right? And they want really fun, cool pieces that push your limits, which is always awesome. And you're able to take their cool, creative ideas because why? Well, they have the finances for some really cool and creative ideas, and so you're able to run with that and do those things. And then they tell their friends. And then you get their friends that want really cool things with creative ideas because they also have the finances to go with it. And you're able to build this thing. Now, does it always happen? No, every year I gain one or two more of those people, but then one or two will fall off the list. You know, you've done what they've wanted, and you hope it comes around and keeps growing. What's up, kid?
It won't let me add the video. Like, look, if I go to press here,
Are you at the end?
no, there's still nothing.
Okay. Where you're at, right there. Now hit done, top left. Now go back into edit. Hit done again, maybe. Go back one more screen. No, one more screen. Give me 1 second, guys. Now go back into the video. Sometimes what's happening is we're using a lot of storage and a lot of stuff. Go back to the beginning of that. No, that little section. Go to the beginning of that little section. See how everything else is gray? It shouldn't all be gray. Like, the video should be updating. The problem is it's not updating. So go to the bottom of the screen altogether and swipe up slowly. What else is open? Yeah, just close those. There might be too many things running at once, and so the app's not able to keep up with what you're trying to do. So, like, it has to, in its own mind, it has to save the work you've already done and then re-upload it. Yeah, so you gotta go back. Is it slowly, or is it all gray still?
It's all gray on the top.
I don't know. We might have to do it in parts. Like, might have to save it where it is. Remember what video is supposed to be added next, re-upload, and then start adding that second clip on the, you know what I'm saying? Or cut that end off and re-add video 1 and video 2. And I know, I told you, get into 2 screen. My daughter's learning how to edit my videos, and so I've got her working on the 2 camera angle time-lapse videos. And it is, when you're first starting out, it is a real challenge figuring it all out to get it to work together in the editing that we use to put 2 camera angles on top of each other and have it flow. It's a bit tricky still. Bring her along in the business, and hopefully I can get her doing the majority of my editing, which frees me up to pursue other things. But yeah, so I think I went on long enough on all that stuff. You guys are probably like, okay, droning on, Kyle, shut up. On here a while, so I know we don't have a ton of new viewers. We just went from like 9 to 13, 10 people roughly. I have been, my wife has been as well. She's like, you know, you've been doing YouTube for quite a while. You should consider putting together classes, teaching people how to start a YouTube channel and then how to edit those channels and how to like slowly grow. Well, I always argue, you know, my channel is only 25,000 subs compared to these ones that are doing amazing, but at the same time, she does have a good point. Like, there's so many hurdles in the beginning to jump over just to get started. I've been playing a little, I don't know, a little R&D on the concept, helping my brother-in-law with his channel and growing that, and he's been doing really great. And a lot of it just comes down to like consistency and things in his case, but I don't know. I don't know how many people would be interested in something where, you know, I give you a link and you go there and you pay for classes to teach you how to do those sort of things. I've also had people tell me I should just set up, you know, and make classes on a bear that's not available here, where people can just like direct pay a set fee and buy courses. There are always those options. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't always know how interested people will actually be in doing it, and there's so much available right here, you know. I mean, in order to do all those things, like if you were to pursue those things even yourself, you know, it's a lot. Like I am non-stop, like non-stop. This is a Heron, and it is not in order. So, carved out of black walnut. We're talking yay high. I didn't even measure this out. I'm trying to keep all these carvings roughly the same, but I'm not super measuring them out. So you're like 42 inches tall, black walnut log, all one piece, no pieces attached. Solid log, right? You guys get to see that in time-lapse video. At the event I'm going to, I'm gonna probably put about $1,200 on this piece. Is it gonna sell? It might. It might not. What'll happen too is I'll get to that event and I will get people who have been in the business longer, who have been not necessarily a chainsaw carving business, but in the business of sculptures, high-end furniture, clients that seem very accessible when you're starting out, clients that have multiple multi-million-dollar homes, large corporate owners, that sort of stuff. I'll be talking to business owners that have done even more work than I have with clients like that. And so what I'll be able to do is bounce this product off their brain and be able to get their feedback with my pricing and concepts and things like that, which is really great because it's a whole different market and a whole different concept and view, especially compared to like a craft fair. So I'm gonna go in with the mindset of a $1,200 purchase, right? At 42 inches tall. Why? Because it's black walnut. Why? Because we're putting a lot of detail into it. Considering it more like an indoor piece, not necessarily an outdoor piece. Considering it more of just a fine wood sculpture, not this rough piece of art. And we'll see how it goes. Will we be shooting for the stars? In my mind. But at the same time, after some conversation, I may have the old, well, you know, we could bring that back to our store and sell it for $2,500 all day. Why? Because those things happen, and there's shops that can sell certain things at higher rates and be able to reach those clients we were talking about earlier that you're not able to always reach yourself. So starting out, we'll be at $1,200. If it's got to come down at some point, well, then it does, you know? Sometimes your bubble gets burst, and that's the way it is. Now, somebody will watch this and be like, oh, your bubble's way high. It should already be burst. You're shooting way, way too high. Way too... You know what, though? Those comments, I'm not too worried about. When people on here comment those sort of things, I don't worry about that. Why? Because those people tend to be passerbys. They're not usually engaged. They're not usually people that watch the channel thoroughly and listen and really have any great info. It's the people that have real knowledge. It has people that are really in the game. Those are the people that, you know, their comments matter the most. Those are the people that, you know, not even their comments, but the people you know in person that have that stuff. Good. I'm glad you're considering it great info. Sometimes I'm considering it just rambling. So I don't know. Hopefully I'll help you out. Will I be painting this? So I'll be doing to this what I did on the bear. If you guys missed the bear carved from walnut, check that video out. And up next will be the owl chain, or the eagle chainsaw carved from walnut. That's what my daughter's working on editing, hopefully by tomorrow. I might be up late trying to get it done, but hopefully that'll be out tomorrow. And this piece carved from walnut. The plan is pretty much the same. The animal will be left black walnut color, natural, with the lights and the darks, the sapwood, the heartwood, all these colors going on right here. We will carve and hand paint the eyes. We'll bust out the airbrush a little black, and we'll highlight all the shadowing areas and the accents. Now I may take a little bit of gray and do the highlights for the feathers, or I may just keep it black so they pop and no discoloration to natural grain. In the bottom though, we'll airbrush the big blades of grass. And we'll add a little bit of green to those and a little bit of black highlights. We may even add just a touch of blue or an off blue-green color to where his feet are, as if he's standing in water. That'll be the only real color painted sort of thing to the piece. If you go back and you watch the bear video that I put out with the bear out of walnut, the bear himself is walnut, painted eyes, black highlights here and there, right, for shadowing, and then we stained the stump and added a little bit of color and things like that. So that is the plan for this whole series. Animals are walnut, everything else gets a little bit of color just to kind of make it pop, bring it to life, and you know, that'll be it. So I gotta get into doing eyes. If you guys have questions though, keep asking. You know, you guys know me. I'm a talker. I like to talk. You guys are my co-workers. Chat your ears off. My past co-workers will watch this and be like, yeah, that guy never shuts up. The bear that I did, that bear I might put about $9 or $9.50 on that bear. The black walnut bear will be around there, $800 to $900 on the walnut bear. This guy's gonna go all the way up to around $1,200. That's the plan. And the eagle is perched and all that kind of stuff, and very intricate as well. That might be around the $1,200 range, $1,300. I don't know yet. We'll see. Like I said, I got some very rough numbers in my mind, and I'm not really setting any of those numbers in stone until I get up to the show and I set my booth up and I have conversations with those people that are a few tiers higher than me in the reselling game. So we'll see how it goes. You gotta do that though. You gotta do that R&D. Gotta put that time in. Talk with people. I spend a lot of time alone, working by myself. So I enjoy it. But when the opportunity arises to have those conversations, you got to be able to put yourself out there and just have them, ask questions, and talk with people. Now that I have no reference pictures, kids, jeez. I shouldn't say that. She's doing the work for me, so I have to. So. Don't get me wrong, she's not just doing the work. I am paying her an hourly wage to do the work. So, business. Gotta motivate those kids. Yeah, Bear and the Boss Lady. You know, that's really where my head went as far as pricing in the very beginning, and then I like kicked the stool out from under myself and say no one's ever going to pay that much for it. That's the honest truth. You know, to be able to sell a piece that's under 4 feet for $2,500 in my world and all that, that would be absolutely amazing. And I haven't been able to really have that clientele up front. That's the God's honest truth. It'd be great. And to be honest, like I said, after I go to this show and we go and we talk and we have conversations, I'm going to really set my prices where, you know, I'm comfortable with and where that market kind of feels. And if it is at 2,500, then so be it. And to be honest, if this line doesn't sell, I'm going to be pretty I'll be like, man, but at the same time, I'm going to be like, wow, this is humbly might be some of the best work that I've done. And at this time, at least for now, at this time, and I'll just keep them, you know, I'll be happy looking at them. They'll end up at my buddy's house. Don't tell him yet. And he'll be happy to look at them, you know, because that's just the way it is sometimes, you know. I mean, you're in it to pay your bills. You love it. You do it. You create. You want to sell. I got mouths to feed, bills to pay. But you know what? Sometimes things don't sell. And sometimes it's really hard to let go of something, especially when you feel like you're being undercut. So you never really know. Thanks. I appreciate it. Appreciate it, Dad. It's not necessarily a question of will somebody buy it. Hopefully they will. But you hope they'll buy it for the price that you feel it's worth, and the time that you put in, the blood, the sweat, tears, the, you know, all that kind of stuff. You hope that it'll sell for what you'd really like to get for it. And that's really tough because you're the one that's put the blood, sweat, tears, and time in. And so to you, a piece is worth so much more money than what people think it is worth. And so sometimes, you know, you have to be realistic. How does that come into play with new Carvers? Well, you're a new carver, so you got to think about that, right? Because right now, as a new chainsaw carver, a new sculptor, new whatever, it's going to take you a long time to carve a bear that might only take me 8 hours. It might take you 2 days, 3 days. It might take me an hour, and it's taking you 10 hours. And so if you're trying to charge for your 10 hours, a piece that someone else can carve with more detail and all that kind of stuff in a much shorter period of time. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. You know, you gotta know what skill level you're at, and it's such a tough thing when you really get into that whole breaking it down and trying to figure it out kind of thing sometimes. I mean, I know, thinking about this real quick before I get going again, I know a carver. Like, I know the opportunity's there to make crazy money on stuff. I know it's there. It's getting connected with people and having the right people see it. I know of a carver. He's a couple hours from me. Does amazing work. The guy has sold pieces to Nike. Nike. He has sold pieces to the company Nike. He has sold them a few that I know of. All right? Has a great following on Facebook. I'm not sure if he really even does YouTube. He has the ability to sell 1 foot bears that look cute anywhere from $300 to $350 a pop. That big. 350 bucks, that big. I have all I can do to sell a bear that big for $80 to $130. That big. This year, bears are about 13, 14 inches tall with about 130 bucks on them. They get a fishing pole and or they get a marshmallow stick like they're at the campfire. About $130. I've sold a few this year. Again, another carver, a couple hours away. He is at 12 to 13 inches tall, selling them for $300 to $350. Bears, sitting, cute, not holding anything. Just nice looking bears. Something to kind of, you know, when you guys are thinking sales and you're thinking price and you're thinking, you know, all that kind of stuff. That guy does shows though, goes to competitions, is involved highly in the carving community. While it may look that way here, I myself, I don't attend carving shows and I don't even know how well I'm known in the carving community. you know, as far as events and things like that. Or even if I am respected at that tier of carving, right? Because I teach people how to carve to a certain level and skill level. And for all I know, carvers that I look up to, they might despise the fact that I do that. I really have no idea. I kind of break away from those things. While I hear oftentimes you should really go to events, you should meet these people, you should talk. I don't know. I just don't. Maybe I should. Josh, thank you. Josh with a $4.99 gift. Appreciate it, man. That is awesome. Yeah, buddy. That sounds like a plan, Josh. Reload, man. I appreciate your views. I appreciate the gift right here on this live. Thank you very much. Means a lot. Means a lot. Heck yeah. It's always cool to get. Thanks, Ryan. Ryan's moderating this for us in case anybody over there gets a little crazy. Ryan's here as our moderator. Give Ryan a shout out, guys. I appreciate his help. It's tough sometimes. Sometimes we get some people on here that are out of control, you know? Ryan's been helping me out with that lately, so. I know we had some a while back on another live. Ryan had to put his foot down. I appreciate it, man. But, yeah, right there, Josh. Thanks again, man. Thank you. It's funny being on this side, how $4.99 takes your whole day from like here to here. It's like, oh, what's $5 gonna do? $5, it elevates. It's crazy. It's like, man, somebody just hooked me up with $5 just because I'm carving live. It's nuts. I appreciate it. All right, so we put the eyes and the beak on, and I'm like, man, I hate the top of the head. It looks stupid. It looks like a word we can't say anymore that starts with an R. Yeah, that word. We're no longer in the 80s and 90s. I can't say it out loud. People will be mad, but I think I got to take the top of that head, knock that thing down just a little bit. Like, great. That's got to come back. Got to come down just a tad. But then again, if I bring that down too far, might throw off. I gotta do it a little bit. Yeah, just a little off the top. Sure. LED. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. 2 yen. I don't know. I don't know what you just paid me in. I know you're in the UK, so was it like a? I'm gonna say it wrong. I don't even know. They are. I appreciate the donations, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you for the gifts here while live. It means a lot. LED, what is your currency? What currency is that? Listen, I got that. I ain't so bright when it comes to this stuff. All right, so $2 in your money. I don't know. We'd have to do the math, but pound. All right, pound. That's what it is. It's gonna say something like a quid. Where the heck's that? Is that the same thing? What's a quid? Who uses that? Is it like another form too? I know it's a currency somewhere. Right? Nobody? Yeah, me neither. I don't know. I know I heard it before. I know somebody uses that. Maybe it's just in movies. I don't know. LED. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I really do. Thank you so much. Means a lot. Means a lot. Means a lot. All right, we gotta swap outfits here with the old Dremel. Start working on the eyes a little bit. Ah, okay. Quid is slang. Gotcha. All right. Good to know. I'm sure I'll forget it, but I appreciate the comment back on it. Cool. Enjoy these conversations. For sure. Ryan, thank you. Thanks for putting that out there. $2, 2 pounds is equivalent to $2.61 in US currency. So, good to know. Good to know. So I'm gonna clean up these eyes. I might flap sand this piece again. Still got all the feathering to clean up and stuff, but still quite a bit of moisture in this chunk, so I'm not sure how much actual finish detail I'll be able to draw out of it. So it's still drying, air drying and things. You guys probably would like a close up, right? You know, a bunch of you been on here with me for like over 2 hours. How about we do that? Huh? How about pause these GoPros up? I'll give you guys a close up of this thing. Before I get into some more detail work here. Pretending those blocks were actually holding it down. Lord knows they weren't doing a whole lot. I could bring the beak down smaller, more narrow, right? Like a blue heron has a much smaller beak, but hey, listen, Allie, I appreciate it. I really do. I don't expect anything like that on lives. So, you know, anything that comes through, it does. It helps. Videos, tools, whatever. And I appreciate it. It means a lot, you know. It truly does. So let's spin this thing around. Trying to upgrade to a GoPro, Ryan. Using your phone, it's super hard because your phone's broken. Yeah, that's not fun. Honestly, man, I run GoPro Hero 7 Black. That's what I run. GoPro Hero 7 Black. Let me show you that, and I'll show you the bird right there. Yeah, look at that, not adjust. You can see the 7 though, black. All right, you can get 4K out of these. You can get these cheaper than buying like 13s, but then buy yourself enough batteries right off the GoPro site. They're like 11 bucks a piece or something. But for every camera, you should have at least 2 batteries. In my theory of shooting videos. They do everything I need though. And then I do all my editing on an iPad. And before the iPad, I did all my editing on my iPhone. You just buy adapters, you can pull the SD cards out, flop them over, all that kind of stuff. All the kind of stuff my wife says I need to make videos on doing. Maybe for members or something. That's what she's, you know, she's my, every now and then she's my marketing person, so. Here we are, there's the eyes. Still gotta do some detail work in them. Again, I'm like, this is a little beefy, but I got a fish to put in here. And I'm just nervous about going too thin. The nice thing, all right, whoo, everybody getting seasick with me. The nice thing is this log came up and this was a branch right at the top. So the crotch of the branch would have been right here, which is like the strongest point. So I know that wood grain flows crazy here, which will help keep that nice and strong. We don't necessarily have to worry about that falling off at some other point. Yeah, Ryan, I get it. I get it. You know, you got to look at those things like save up to get a new GoPro and make that just part of your YouTube fund, you know. You're investing in yourself, you're investing in your channel when you upgrade your equipment. And it's always easier said than done. Like, I got to save up. I want to get a new Makita. I think I want to get that Makita belt sander, the finger sander. And, you know, that's an expensive purchase for me. You know, what are we, a couple $100, but still, that's a pricey purchase to spend a couple $100 on a new tool just to do it and try it, and hopefully you'll love it. So, kind of the grass still needs to get cleaned up. We're under the bird. There's a leg. Cut all through, right? Standing. Maybe we'll do some blue. We'll paint these green. Other legs separated. Yeah, it's like better safe than sorry, or go for it and see what, yeah, I don't know. As far as the beak goes, it's tough. It's tough because as of right now, I haven't added, I haven't glued, I haven't had to do any addition to the piece, and I don't want to have to do that, so it's tough. You know, like this could be sized down and sized down a touch for size. Now at the same time though, this piece is 42 inches tall, head's a little oversized. It is gonna have to have a fish, so I gotta have the strength to hold this little fish, but it is only a little fish. All these things that play through my head, I don't know. So we gotta get in, we gotta undercut all these feathers with the die grinder and the Dremel. Clean all this feathering up. Clean all this feathering, some of this feathering, right? Cut through these pieces. Like there's still probably, I don't even know. I probably still have a good 3 hours of cleanup work to do. I'd say 3 to 4 to clean this up to where I like it before I start putting stain and stuff. That's my guess. How long does a battery last on an MSA 120? I think if you go with an AK30, you can get about 30 minutes, 35 minutes. I run the next size up. So MSA 120s, 140s run on the AK battery line. So you get AK10, AK20, AK30 batteries. I'd say get AK30s, get your longest run time out of them, biggest bang for your buck. But I run the MSA, well, you guys run the MSA too with 120s. I run the AP line. So I run the Pro Series line saws for battery. So I'm running the MSA 160, 200, and 220, and they run on the AP batteries, which is more juice, more power, runs faster, right? And more money. but the runtime's probably about the same, but you're paying for power. That's what you end up paying for. More power, more beef behind it. Yeah, whatever that belt sander is, I want to get, I think it's the Milwaukee, or I think it's the Makita I was looking at that everybody's getting, that finger sander with the longer extension on it, so I could get in underneath. And I know I've seen plenty of videos. Everybody's like, well, we make feathers with these belt sanders and stuff, which I don't know. I don't have one to try that, so everything's done with the chainsaw, you know. Who knows? We may get cool enough to do something like that, but I think you're pushing almost $300 though for that unit. So if the show does well, maybe we'll order one up and you guys will see it here and we'll review it. Hey Makita, if you happen to be watching, I'll take one of those sanders there. Just you know, hit me up, mail me 1 or 2 or 5. We'll give some away. Yeah, never gonna happen. That would be cool. Oh, what time we got? Almost time to call it a day. Getting there. Yeah. Looks like I got to put some feathering on the side here. A piece like this too, it's important trying to pay attention to detail. Detail. I also want to carve a fox, possibly 2 fox, and then maybe an owl if I have time. I say all this, right? All walnut stuff. At the same time, I've got a table I just wrapped up, and I have 3 more tables, truthfully, that the tops are epoxied. I have no bases built, no skirting built, no true design at hand, and I've got those to build. And the show, I have to pack up on the 6th. I might pack up on the 5th, September 5th, and load up Thursday, get on the road, and be there and set up on Friday for a show that takes place the 7th and 8th, Saturday and Sunday. So I have from now until, let's say, the 5th to have it all complete and ready to go. But I will say that I've learned this, and I've been told this, that I do my best work in the last few minutes. The crunch time, those hours of, you know, you should be relaxing and enjoying the work you've done and taking all of that in. And no, instead I'm like, let's add more crap and see if we can get it all done. Stress yourself out to the max, buddy. Yep, that's me. Yep. Trying to figure out what I want to tackle on this thing next. Might get one of those eyes. I don't know. We're on 4:22 right now, and we've been on here 179 minutes. Some of you guys been some real troopers today, haven't you? Appreciate it. Has been tuning in and hanging out and sending gifts. I appreciate you guys. We've had some awesome conversation today. Got plenty of work done. Might not seem it to somebody just tuning in, but as far as details go, I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. Again, I got to go through though. I got to take a little detailer with the Dremel and clean up around the eyes and the head. Undercut some feathers. They look like, so feathers aren't just flat and overlapping, but they're layered and there's a gap. You want those things to kind of be lifted off, especially here where there's a bend. Like if you think about this, in the neck where it bends, the feathers should be sticking out just a touch. I mean, really on this bird, the feathers would come out and down, but I'm not doing that, so we'll undercut these kind of stick off. And we might do a little bit of that here, down underneath, and then we'll undercut these feathers. So they're really layered. You want them layered, looking like they're laying on top of each other. So, like my new Carvers, like when you're doing feathering and things like that, like keep that in mind. You know, like feathers that are kind of You know, they're not always super layered and sticking out like that. Like some of the winged feathers on this animal are laid very tight, very smooth looking down the bird when it's standing. But when you undercut them and make them look lifted, it gives the whole carving that much more movement, that much more of a realistic feel or vibe, like he ruffled his feathers and they're kind of sticking out. The more I get into this and I get doing these things, I like pieces to not look so stagnant. I want them to have, you know, a real vibe of movement. You know, even if we guys look at the legs like I had showed you, right? This one's kind of down and the leg on the other side stepping forward. Along with the fact that we'll have a fish in the mouth that's kind of curled a little bit, a little movement in the fish. And then the feathers will be a little bit of movement on their own. But, yeah. Thanks, Karen. I like the wood tone as well in the walnut. It really looks great. It's going to look even better once we get it all sanded and get some finish on it. Well, that's probably going to be it for this live. I'm going to jump off this thing in just a minute here, guys. I got to get some water. I've been out here for a minute. I need to drink. And see what I know we got chili on for dinner. I got to see what we want to eat. This fellow's, I could eat dinner right now. It's 4:25. I'm hungry. But, you know, might have to wait. So, hope you guys had an awesome day. Really do. Hopefully some of your work days are winding down. You guys get to go home, do some things you love, hang out with some family. Run some saws, work toward that hobby, push that business, edit those videos, you know, chase that dream. Appreciate everybody tuning in today, though. Appreciate all my members. Everybody that's got a little emblem next to their name is a member. We got Baron, the boss lady, and we had, who else was a member on here? Was that Ellie? Ellie, I think, is a member, right? Ollie's a member. No, yes, no. Who else was? We had a member on here somewhere. I don't remember who was. We had a couple members on here today, which I appreciate you guys. Appreciate Ryan moderating the video today. Ollie with a gift. And Josh with a gift today on the live. Thank you guys for those. Baron the Boss Lady, thanks for commenting. Karen, thanks for being here. If I missed your name or I missed, you know, giving you guys a shout out, I appreciate it. Jim, Dad, appreciate you guys stopping by. Ohio Valley Fire, thanks for being here today. You guys have an awesome day, and hopefully I'll see you guys on the next live. Stay safe, keep gripping and ripping, guys. We'll see you.